Good afternoon, friends. Very good afternoon, friends.
Good afternoon, sir.
I welcome you all. Very good morning to the friends from Middle East and other part of the world, and very good evening to the friends from the Far East. Friends, I welcome you all for this webinar on most satisfying transformer testing. Now, before we begin this webinar, let us know that all of us are doing good and all of us are geared to spend our next 45 minutes on understanding how the most satisfying transformer test laboratory could be. So can I know from you, can you please type in a chat box, alphabet G, G for good. Can you please type in to indicate that all of us are doing good? Okay, Umar, thank you so much. Yes, many friends are writing good. Andy, yes. Mr. Muhammad, yes. Ihaven, yes. All of us are feeling good. Akash, you're feeling good. Glad to know. Siva, you're good. Sunan, very good. So friends, I see that all of us are doing good and geared up to spend next 45 minutes in understanding how the most satisfying transformer testing and report generation would work for us. Let's begin. I welcome you all once again for this webinar. And friends, I begin by asking you a question as to how most satisfying it is going to be. When we look at the most satisfying part, you may be looking forward to how user-friendly the system is going to be, whether it's going to cover all the tests that are to be conducted on a transformer, whether it's going to be a stress-free test operation by the operator, whether the test system is going to cover the safety of the plant and personnel, whether it's going to draw error-free test reports. When we go for the testing, is it going to test with reference standards that are prevalent in the whole of the world? Could be IEC, could be ANSI, could be IS, could be SANS, could be GHOST, could be anything. And then we have large varieties of transformers being manufactured throughout the world. Are we going to look at system which is going to be universal for any kind of transformer? Is it going to test any rating of the transformer, starting with maybe few kVAs to hundreds of MVAs? Whether it's going to be automatic and flexible data acquisition? Is it going to be easy storage and retrieval of the large data? And ultimately, you look at the productivity benefits when you go for this, and that's where the reduced testing and test preparation time plays an important role. In a nutshell, you may be looking forward to some kind of an automation wherein consistent and elegant looking test reports are generated, and the system which is going to be compatible with most of the test instruments that are offered globally today. And ultimately, what you look forward is a proven, which is possibly tried and tested across the globe, maybe over 1.5 decades. So friends, we are here, and how this most satisfying part is going to be, it's going to unfold in a while as we move along in the next 45 minutes. Friends, what we are going to see on this screen now is the test lab schematic. A typical test lab schematic will look something like this. I have divided into 4 parts. If I have to talk about the top left, therein you see the computer screen. Then you have the data concentrator, which is communicating with the low voltage test instruments. To name them, it could be insulation tester, it could be capacitance stand delta bridge, it could be CT tester, it could be ratio meter, it could be resistance meter, that's winding resistance meter, turns ratio meter, or it could be simply a load manager for magnetic balance tests. I draw your attention to the middle part now, wherein you see a touch screen HMI, wherein the complete power distribution circuit is depicted, wherein you will be in a position to not only monitor and also control the power flow across the test floor. You can also see the controller, which is interfaced with the MCBs, the ACBs, the air circuits, all kinds of breakers. It could be motor generator set, it could be variac, it could be static frequency converter, it could be the HV tester, all those kinds of equipment that play a role in testing of the transformers will be interfaced to the controller. You also have the temperature measurement device. You also have the power analyzer, and that's a test bench. What you're going to see, what we see here in the middle is the test bench, which houses the LCD screen, controller, a computer, which is possibly interfaced with the internet. It has a power analyzer. It's connected to a printer for report generation. And also it gets communicated with the low voltage test trolley that we have seen on the top just a while ago. On the extreme right hand side on top, you see the impulse room, wherein again a computer, and all the three computers as you see here are connected to each other. That means anywhere any tests are taken, those can be accessed from anywhere throughout the test laboratory, whether it is at low voltage test trolley, which could possibly move around. That's why I call it a mobile low voltage test trolley. It can possibly move around the test floor, maybe a production floor. And then the test bench, which is there in the post-production area, then the impulse oscilloscope and rest of the equipment that we see. I hope, friends, you're all clear about the test lab schematic that we're talking about here. Let's move further as we are going to unfold one by one. Now, in the whole gamut, friends, what we are seeing the test lab schematic, you are seeing the computer on the low voltage test trolley, the computer in the test bench. You also seen the computer in the impulse control room. There could be many more computers depending upon the size of the test laboratory that you have and how many times intermediate inspection that you wish to carry out. But what plays an important role here is the transformer test flow software, which resides in these computers everywhere and helps you generate the test reports that are elegant looking and also helps you test the transformers nicely. Let's look at this now. I take you over there. I stop this particular screen and connect the other screen. Okay. Here we are. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Friends, I now take you down to here's a main. I draw your attention to the top left corner. I'm clicking on the main over there. And that gives me two options over there, the new transformer test, the edit transformer test. I'll take a few minutes and take you to the new transformer test first, and then I'll come back to the edit, okay? To explain you a few of the parameters that we have seen, how the most satisfying part when we covered this. Okay, here in the operator or the test engineer or the test technician is going to enter the sales order number, the serial number, the number of units, the job rating. It could be in kVA, MVA, the root 3 factor. You can choose as many decimals he wishes to have the customer name. And the reference standard is something, you know, as I have mentioned earlier. It could be SANS, it could be IS, that is Indian standard, it could be IEC, it could be CBIP, it could be ANSI, or it could be anything else. So you'll be in a position to choose from here. Then the type of transformer, as we have seen, this particular test laboratory that we're talking about, which is the most satisfying, has to have the capability to test any kind of transformers. Now the names, some of the abbreviations are given over here. AT stands for auto transformer, CRT, CT, CVT, distribution transformer, furnace transformer, generator transformer, HVDC transformer. It could be IFT, OFT, it could be power transformer, rectifier transformer, it could be shunt reactor, it could be station transformer, it could be traction transformer, unit auxiliary transformer, VPI based right type of transformers, or it could be SCT, it could be locomotive. All these varieties of transformers will be in a position to test when there's most satisfying transformer test. Okay, let's move. Now, friends, I come to the type of inspection here. Okay, You can see here the type of inspection. There are multiple names given over here. I think 7 or 8 or 9. What it means is that for a given serial number, you will be in a position to store the records of the test up till 9 times. It could be final inspection, it could be internal inspection, it could be stage inspection, it could be before short circuit, that's temperature rise, it could be after short circuit, or the load loss test, or the customer witness inspection, factory acceptance test. Likewise, you'll be in a position to do that. Okay. The rest of the information that you key in related to the test, the people involved. Okay. I close here and take you back because I need to show you the data. You'll be in a position to relate to it, how all that happens. And for that, rather than going into the new one, let me show you how where the data is there, which will make more sense for us to understand and decipher in this. Okay, friends, I have gone into the edit now. And what you see here on the top left is the search. You can search based on the work order number, serial number, customer name, the job rating, the issue date, the user ID, in terms of what is the kV rating of the transformer, in terms of what's the MVA rating of the transformer. Now here, let me go for say, I go for say work order here, and then there are plenty of them here. Okay, I can choose from that, but I will double click on this also. There's another way to do it. I double click on this. This is the job of 66.7 MVA. Okay, we are on now transformer rating 1. It talks about the 3-phase, 3-winding auto transformer having vector group. You can see YNAOD1. Okay, the winding designations you can see here. It is all settable, usable by the user the way he wants it. It could be HV for the primary, HT or AT, whatever it is. Similarly, for the secondary winding, he can choose whatever he wishes to. Similarly, for the tertiary winding. The terminal notations can be different throughout the globe, and that's what this facility to key in whatever one chooses. Then you have the coolings. You can go for about 4 coolings and what are the ratings at different cooling levels. Then you have the rated voltage. You can key in the dual voltage if you have one. You also have the option for unloaded tertiary winding. If you can see on right top, there is an option over there, unloaded tertiary. That also can be activated. You can also go for the rated voltage. As you see here, you can go for the dual voltage. Rated current gets calculated automatically. The connection are shown over here. You can also see for the tertiary winding delta, and there is an option of open delta also. All these permutations and combinations for all varieties of the transformers, you can see over here. The winding material is there, the frequency, the reference temperature, the voltage class, everything that you are in a position to see. Okay, I have covered transformer rating 1. Let's go to transformer rating 2 now. Here you are in a position to see the insulation levels for lighting impulse as well as the alternating currents for line terminals as well as the neutral terminals. Then next you can go for the type of tap changer. You can go for OLTC, OCTC, whatever it is. And then you have the voltage variation for OLTC, OCTC. That means both the winding. You can set it the way you want it. You can go for how you're going to have the measurement of the resistances and all that. Those settings are there. But as a default, you can just go ahead. Then the guaranteed temperature rise for oil and winding is mentioned over here. And that completes transformer rating 1, rating 2. Then you can go for the guaranteed values here. Guaranteed values for the no load loss. Similarly, guaranteed values for the impedance as well as the load loss. Once you are done all these things, click on the next button at the bottom here. I click on the next button here, and that takes us to the screen where we have the test list. You can see here there are about 13, 14 test lists are there. Test names are there. Similarly, you can keep on adding more. I say click on button here at the bottom, add test. Moment I click on the button add test, the complete list of tests appears, friends, here. This is about 75 tests that are to be conducted on a transformer of any rating, Now here you see the tests are mentioned in 2 colors. One is in red, another one is black. The red indicates that this test has already been selected. okay, from where we came on this particular page. And the black color tests are available for selection. You can select whatever you wish, okay? And now let's go back, having known this feature. Now, on the screen also, friends, you are in a position to see that the test, those red color on the earlier screen, they are here. Now here, some of them are shown in green color and some of them are shown in black color. Green color tests are the tests which are already been conducted on this particular serial number which you have chosen. And the black color tests are yet to be conducted or available to be conducted. Now let's see how the test needs to be conducted. Or before that, okay, let's go for that. Okay, I click on the first one, measurement of voltage ratio and vector group verification. The moment I click on that, you'll be in a position to go into the screen for measurement of voltage ratio and vector group verification test page. Okay, it's going to open. First time it takes a little while, but then it is very simple. Okay, here measurement of voltage ratio with tap changer, OCTC, OLTC. I click on this, open. And then that's where the screen has come now. You can see the reference standard. Here you have a choice for each test, whether you would like to have the very different reference standard chosen. Decimal places, as has been seen earlier, you further have a facility to change it here, the test date. Now here you can see the number of taps here. It is the voltage ratio between HV to LV, the voltage levels again HV to LV at different voltage levels, again HV to LV at different voltage levels. Similarly, you can go on for large numbers, whatever you want, including one tertiary wire. You can see based on whatever taps we have talked about earlier, everything happens automatically and it appears automatically. There are about 33 taps, and you can see the normal tap is also identified with a different color, that is tap number 70. The voltage for the HV and the LV appears automatically. The calculated ratio appears automatically. The tolerance is shown over here. You can set the tolerance. Currently it is 0.5. The moment you make it whatever you wish to, you make it 0 and the values go into the red. That means any value that is not in the permissible range, it is automatically displayed in red color to alert the test engineer or the test technician. Now, friends, for this particular job, the test technician or test engineer has taken a tap number 1, the measured ratio. And how does he get this measured ratio? Very simple. At the bottom, you have a button here named acquire. Once you click on this acquire button, the values related to the measured ratio for this particular tap appear over here. Now, if you want to take further values, you make the connection for tap number 2 and have a cursor in the second row. And then again, click on the acquire button. And that's how you populate the whole table for the voltage ratio. Now you have facility here to print voltage ratio with percentage error. You can also put in your notes. You can also give the comment whether it is a result you want to show it as pass, fail, whatever it is. You can set your acceptance criteria which will appear in the test report, or you just want to pass a comment, test pass satisfactorily. That is also possible to be chosen from here. Now let me click on the print button here to show you how this particular test report will look like. This is the print preview of the test report. On the left-hand side top, you have, is this visible to you, friends? Test report is,
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, friend. On top, on the left-hand side, you have the logo of your company. On the right-hand side, you may have another logo, possibly NABL accreditation or whatever it is, then your all header information. I'll be taking you further there, how you're going to set this header and put an information. Then the job information, the measurement of voltage ratio. Then I'll take you down. So I scroll down to the bottom. You can see here the footer information, the page number you see here, the 4 of 32. You must be wondering why it has come 4, but I'm going to explain you later as we go to the complete test report. You can go for the next page. You can go for the next page. You can go for the next page. Okay. Now you may also be wondering why it is printing on different pages, because this is something for a bigger rating of the transformer. For a smaller rating, maybe distribution transformers or a smaller transformers, you don't have to print information on various pages. It can go on a single page. That I'm going to explain as we move along. Okay, friends, this is the way I close this here and take you back, because there are many things to show to you. Now, once we are through with this voltage ratio test, I click on the back button at the bottom here. Do you want to save data? I say no here. And then vector voltage measurement is another test. I click on this. Okay. You can see the key that gets generated automatically. There are two vector groups in this particular job. So you can see them, how they are. You can see the reference standard, the test type, and most of the ratio meters these days come with automatic detection of the vector group, and then it comes automatically. Otherwise, you'll be required to measure. The measured values are shown here in this particular second column, middle column you see here. And any of the values go haywire here and there, it shows in the red color as has been shown in this particular thing. Then you'll be in a position to take similar print like this for these also to see. Now, friends, let me click on the back button here and take you to the main test list. Okay, you have covered the measurement of voltage ratio and vector group verification. Now let me take you to measurement of winding resistance. I double click on this, and the next page that opens here is this. Okay. Now, friends, again, you have the reference standard, the top oil temperature, the bottom oil temperature. You have the button here, Aqua. You click on the Aqua button, automatically these values get fetched. For the resistance measurement, winding resistance, you have the units in ohms, milliohms, microohms, depending upon the rating of the transformer you can choose. You can choose the number of decimal places. The average gets calculated for the temperature automatically. You can choose the winding under test. It could be any winding, HV, LV, series, common, tertiary, whatever it is. Okay. Then you have the measurement of resistances, whether it is phase to phase, phase to neutral, depending upon the kind of winding resistance meter that you have chosen. Now here the measurement can be done for all taps, or it could be, it has been done here for the tap number 1, then the normal tap at 17, and it has been done at the last tap at tap number 33. You will wonder when the report will get printed, how it is going to appear. Yes, this red colored, whatever data you see, that 00, that means the test has not been conducted on those taps, will be skipped, and it will show as at normal tap and the extreme taps only. So this is the way the whole thing is going to happen as far as winding resistance test. And how do you get these values for the winding resistance? Very simple again, as I have explained you when it was for voltage ratio. Similarly, there is a button at the bottom called Acquire. You click on this, and the values for the winding resistance get populated in this table automatically. I click on the back button here, and let's go back to the test list. So friends, measurement of voltage ratio, the measurement of winding resistance, then we have no load loss and excitation current. Let's open this. Now here you can see the tap position you can select for HV, LV both. The condition of the test, as I mentioned, you can store the data for multiple times for a single job. That means you have conducted the no load loss once, other before HV test, that is heat run test, before applied voltage test, after applied voltage test, that is HV test, before heat run test, that is temperature rise test, after heat run test, or before both or after both, after HV and before this thing, the other one, that is heat run test. All those combinations will be possible. You can also see the base MB here. And when you're going to conduct this no load loss test, you can choose where you're going to energize from. In this case, tertiary winding. The moment you choose another key, you will also find that the no load loss test was conducted, where again it was energized from the tertiary winding. So all these combinations you'll be in a position to see. So friends, you can also see the guaranteed losses as we have seen it earlier here, just for information. And then what you do, how you conduct the no load loss test. In case of a completely automated system, the voltage rises to the rated voltage and the measurements are taken in this particular table and they get populated automatically. In case of, and that automatic setup, the completely automatic setup, we have built up to 1.5 MVA, 1500 kVA. It can go up to 36 kV class. In case of a bigger setup, what you do is you raise the voltage from the test bench with the voltage rise button. And as soon as you see the voltage has risen to the rated voltage, you click on the acquire button at the bottom, and then all the values for the various voltages, the phase voltages, the VRMS, the V mean, the measured currents, the measured power, and then what kind of ratios for the PT and CT are there, the test frequency, the multiplying factor, and the measured power. Everything happens automatically. And you click on the print button, and you will again be in a position to see, as we have seen earlier, how the test report for this particular test will look like. Now, friends, I take you back from here and let us see an important test that needs to be conducted on a transformer which consumes bit of a power, that is load loss test. And friends, here you have now load loss test on the top. Here again, the key is like what we have seen earlier, wherein you have short winding and the supply winding, the alternate changing. There are three combinations where the test was conducted. You can see here the supply winding is HV and short winding is LV here. And then the load loss, the impedance, when the test was conducted, it appears over here. Then on the right hand side, friends, I draw your attention to top oil temperature, the bottom oil temperature, the average temperature. All those things you'll be in a position to get automatically from the temperature measuring device once you click on the acquire button for the temperatures. Now, while conducting this test, is very important that, most of the places we make use of the HT capacitor banks, because it is always advisable not to draw the power or whole power from the mains, and that's where HT capacitors will be used. And this chart will give you the information as to how many HT capacitors to be put in circuit for the given rating of the transformer automatically, so that you don't have to calculate anything and you don't have to worry about anything, and it will be in a position to help you to quickly finish your load loss and impedance measurement test. Now, again, the same way, friends, that you raise the voltage in such a way that the rated current flows in the other winding, and then you have the button at the bottom here, acquire, and you'll be in a position to get the values for various parameters. Measured voltage, the measured current, the measured loss, then the ratios for the current and voltage, then the measured power, the test frequency, and temperature at which the test has been taken. Now, once this has been done, friends, next is to click on the tab on the top, that is calculations, and click on the calculations tab. Here you can see the supply from is HV winding, the short circuit winding is LV, the cooling MVA is 66.7. Then the various tap numbers of the HV winding, the measured voltage, the corrected voltage, the measured current, rated current, the measured load loss, corrected load loss, the impedance at test temperature, resistance, reactance. And you can also see in the end where I scroll it down, you have all information related to average resistance for HV, LV, and then you have further information. I come to the bottom table to explain you the copper loss, total copper loss, corrected load loss, stray loss, copper loss at reference temperature, the stray loss, at test frequency or the rated frequency. And then we have all the information, including the reactance, resistance, impedance, everything comes automatically. As I explained earlier, you can click on the print here and take a report of this particular test. Let me go back from here now. And let's go back from here to, I say no. Okay, friends, we are here now. Now, friends, you can go on like this and you can conduct up to 75 tests. But the last test which I must cover at this moment is the temperature rise test, because that is where it takes long time to conduct. And temperature rise test, how it makes very easy for the operator or the test engineer to conduct this test, that you're going to see it now. So friends, we have seen no load loss was conducted, the load loss was conducted, those values appear automatically. You can also see here the supply voltage, supply winding, and the short winding, and what is the rated voltage, and what are the MVA and all that. Everything comes automatically. You can also see, here you can see the interval in minutes. This is 60 minutes is the interval set. The moment you set it like this, the table below and the center that you see, every 60 minutes, the data for how much is the kilowatt, how much is the average kV, the average ampere, and all the temperatures are measured. And you can see in the last column, that is the top oil temperature rise. Now, friends, once this is getting tabulated automatically every 60 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever time that you have set, the moment the temperature gets stabilized, the system asks you to reduce the current, and then it will ask you to shut down. And once you have shut it down, the next thing is to do is to go for measurement of the resistance of the winding. And then you can choose from here, LV, HV, whatever it is. Now, friends, the time that possibly will elapse, and then you will have the measurement of the winding resistance. Now, it is important for you to get the 0th value. And that's where this button at the bottom, extrapolate button, will help you get the data for the loss of time. And then you click on the graph button here at the bottom and draw this particular graph within seconds. Now, this is the way, friends, you can do it for various windings. The next is determination of temperature. Now, once you come here, you'll be in a position to get the results. Results are very simple for the HV, the LV winding, the tertiary winding, the all information. And in the bottom, last two lines, 2 rows that you see are the results. Top oil temperature rise, the winding temperature rise. You'll be in a position to see it here. You can again go for the print here, but I will go back from here. And again, I go back. And that's where I'm going to show you something very interesting here is how do you draw the test report now. I click on the report at the bottom here. Oh, friends, here I have 3 options when I click on the report. Index page, the long report, the short report, that is extra short report. Now, friends, we have seen earlier when we went for the vector, when we went for the ratio test, okay, voltage ratio test. That time, whatever print we have seen, that was part of the long report. So let's click on the long report here and see how the long report will look like, where the index page will come, and how the whole information for all the tests will get tabulated with ease, and how it is going to make it error-free. As this is the first page, wherein you have the final inspection. This is the report number, the serial number, the manufacturer, the job rating, reference standard, everything tested by, approved by, checked by, everything appears. And then I scroll down, take you to the next page. This is the information related to the transformer, you see. The OCTC, OLTC, vector group, and whatnot. And the third page is the index page. You can see the sheet number in the last column. The measurement of voltage ratio and vector group verification.
सर रिपोर्ट दिसत नाही आहे.
You can't see this? Okay.
नाही सर.
Okay. Let me stop here. Okay. And then take you there. Is this visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means I need to scroll down again from the top. So friends, this is the test report wherein you see your logos will appear on the top, then the information related to the job, customer and all. And then when we move to the second page, you have the details about the job. Then third page is the index page. See, in this index page, friends, you can see the measurement of voltage ratio and vector group verification. Page sheet number 4 to 12. And if you recall, when I showed you this particular test report earlier, it was named sheet number 4 of 32. And that's where this is related. And everything happens automatically. You can change the sequence of the test and everything the way you wish to have it. I just scroll down. And now the whole test report will look like. It's very easy. The vector group diagram, the measured values, everything will appear automatically. No loss of data, no mistakes in calculation, and all set for load loss impedance voltage here. Then you have measurement of load loss and impedance again. Then we go down, magnetic balance test, temperature rise test. Likewise, the graph, what we have seen earlier, this is for various windings. So this is the way, friends, the whole test report will look like. Now what I'll do is, I'll take you to the transformer test flow software again, and let me explain you some of the other aspects which I referred earlier. Now friends, how the data acquisition happens. Otherwise, when we're talking about this particular test report, you will possibly want to put some note, that facility is also here. You can key in whatever information you wish to give additionally. That note facility is there. You can also put in the annexes in the test report. You have this feature here. You can keep on adding as many annexes you want to give. And then it becomes part of the test report. And now I take you to the utility here. On top left, report header and footer. Friends, you can see how easy for you to change the report header and footer. You can also see how the logo needs to be managed. It's very simple. You can just put in the JPG file and connect to that. Similarly for the footer, and whole thing will appear in the test report the way you wish. I again take you back to utility. You have that HT capacitor rating calculation, what I explained to you during the load loss test. The formula sheet for the losses, similarly formula sheet for the temperature rise. This is something, if your customer insists that, he is interested to see what exactly you have done in the test report, you can just show this to them. User details, you can key in the database backup facilities there. Analysis report is something very important, Over a period of time, few years have elapsed, few months have elapsed, and you want to know how many transformers have been tested, for which customer, which rating, what kind of inspections. Everything will be possible to get this kind of a report for you. At the click of a button, you have the complete information. You can also see the calibration status of the test instrument that play an important role in automatic data acquisition, vector label and image maintenance. Friends, we have covered large number of vector groups in this particular software, large numbers, really large numbers. But still, if at all you come across anything new that is possibly not here in this, you can add by connecting the image that is for the vector group, and then it becomes very simple for you to continue. Again, I take you back to the utility here. web upload facilities there. That means you'll be in a position to showcase the actual testing process and the test report to your customer anywhere in the world with this facility. Control panel, because we are talking about any rating of the transformer, any all tests covered, about 75 tests covered, and any type of transformer. That's where this control panel comes in handy, wherein you can choose lot many instruments and all that. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the instruments as I go further. Language setting panel is something very important. The friends, those who are from outside the country, those who are from not English speaking countries, they may be wanting to have the test reports in their language, and that's what is possible by you. Equipment rating, the CTPT ratios, then refresh report server. This is for the database connectivity with whatever ERP that you may have. Now, friends, I take you to the instrument setting. Now, when we looked at how the data acquisition happens with the click of a button, that acquire button, which I showed you, that setting happens over here, friends. So for example, the power analyzer, this software is compatible with many power analyzers that are prevalent in the world. Similarly, you can see the resistance meters. Large number of resistance meters of various makes and models are supported by this. Similarly, many more. Okay. Type of connection, the port name, the PC name. You could have various numbers of PCs, as we have seen in the schematic. You can make them active, and then it becomes easier for you to acquire data and have the test report generated from any of the computers connected in this particular system. Now, friends, we talked about the heart of the test laboratory, that is transformer test flow software. Now, let's look at the other aspects of the test laboratory. And for that, I disconnect this particular screen and take you to another screen. Okay. This is where we are. Is this visible, friends?
Heart of the test lab has this.
Yes, this is transformer test flow software, which we have covered just now. Now, let's look at. This was a job that was done for testing of 700 MVA, 500 kV power transformers. This was the job in Indonesia. Okay, and this was the test bench. This was snapped in the year 2011. This was the remote control panel away from the test bench. This was another job. This was the touch screen, wherein you will be in a position to see the complete power distribution, how it happens. You can monitor as well as control from here. Intuition monitoring is also there. If any intrusion happens, automatically the system will shut off. And that's where the safety of the plant and personnel, not only because of intrusion, but the other parameters, whether it's overload or fault, and all those things will be taken care of. Suppose you have large machines wherein you will be required to monitor the parameters. That also will be possible in this. This was for a job of 800 MVA, 700 kV power transformers. This was the test bench that was given. Another job, this was the graphical user interface for them. Then this was for no load loss test, the power distribution circuit.
Please wait for work.
Yes, friends, there was some disturbance, and our apologies for the same. Am I audible to you, friends?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, friends, this was for completely automated 630 up to 630 kVA transformers. What it involved was the test bench, the circuit breakers, the current transformer, the potential transformer, the LT capacitor bank, the voltage regulator, the motor generator set, the HV test setup, booster transformer, isolators, and all that. Then this was what the test bench for this particular. At the bottom, what you see, friends, is the foot switch, ensuring the safety of the plant and personnel with the use of this foot switch. This was another job for another company where up to 630 kVA automatic test laboratory, and this was the test bench that was used for that. Friends, you can see some of the photos related to 100 MVA test lab that was supplied by us. You can see the CTs, PTs, the bus bar arrangements for that. You can also see the HV tester and the intermediate transformer used. Then you can see this was for this company. Oh, what you see here, friends, is outside the workshop, there is a HT capacitor bank. And this is what the bus bar arrangement for the capacitor bank was done. There is the motor generator side. And what you see the panels for the VFDs and all. Now LV test trolley. We have seen the schematic, friends, in that I showed you how the LV test trolleys are. Now they look something like this. A friend operating LV test trolley. Now the combinations of LV test trolleys, you can see, they can be of various types depending upon how you need it. Now, friends, this picture, what I'm showing you here is for an automated and integrated motor and transformer test laboratory. So in the middle on top, you see the test bench. On the left-hand side, you see the capacitor panels. The bottom left, you see the power panels wherein all circuit breakers and everything remains. And at the bottom center, you see a small yellow color. You see that these are the HT isolators. And then the knife switches on the right-hand side bottom. And then above that is the CTs, PTs. And then you see the voltage regulators. Likewise, the whole gamut of combined motor and transformer test laboratory. And this setup was for testing of motors up to 4.5 megawatt and transformers up to 5 MVA. Okay, let me show you some of the testimonials, friends. I draw you there now, and they look something like this. Okay, this is a company, IMP Powers. This was the job done for them in the year 2010. Indian Transformers is another company. Sudhir, the Jain Group, Kanohar, Kavika. This was in Sri Lanka. Now we have some mayhem going there. Mahati. This was in Qatar. Nepal. Another job. Number of jobs done for them. This was in Pan Africa in Kenya. This was for Hammond. This was the job in UK. Large number of jobs for the CG then. This was in United States of America. Raychem RPG, another one. Servomax, Siemens, Skipper Electricals. Sneda Transformers in Ghana. This was for Saudi Power Transformer Company in Dammam. Star Energy, Sudhir, repeat jobs, yes. Technical Associates, we have done large number of jobs, third. Then we have Transfab, Vijay Electricals, the Voltamp in Oman, WEG. So friends, these are all some of the testimonials. I take you further. and show you okay. Okay, friends, 1 minute. I'll just take you there. We are here. And you will be really wondering how do we come across for this kind of test laboratory and how we can interact for getting a test laboratory set up or upgrading your own test laboratory. And that's where I'll be showing you how you can approach for the same to us. For that, I share now. I share now this particular screen. Okay, friends, this is
This is Lakshmikant Lunikar from Marketing and Sales. The screen represents the quotation request form for setting up automated transform testing laboratories or upgrading existing one. Here you have to mention that data like whether you are the range of transform. As you know, this transform test laboratories is suitable for single phase as well as three phase. Here you have to mention only kVA rating or MVA rating, voltage rate or voltage rating HV as well as LV. Here you have to mention the efficiency data, impedance of the transformers in the tabular form, whether you have the currently power source available with you, what is the voltage rating, current, frequency, or whether you have to upgrade the power source, you have to mention the voltage and current rating. As you know, this transform test laboratory is suitable for all transformers like generator transformer, power transformer, furnace transformer, unit auxiliary transformer, locomotive transformer, distribution transformer, station transformer, solar the transformer, converter, inverter duty type of transformer. These transformer test laboratories are in two forms. One is the stationary, another is the mobile one. The mobile one is used for the low voltage test is only that at what frequency you want to test the transform, whether 50 hertz, 60 hertz, or both. You have to mention here. So, what kind of benefits that you are looking through these transport test laboratories, like the whether you have to improve the measurement accuracy, you have to measure the process testing times, and any other you have to mention here. As you said earlier, these transform test laboratories is suitable for 77 tests. Here are the routine tests, type tests. Here you have to mention which routine test you have to conduct, type test, which test you need. Special tests, which special tests you need for through these transport test laboratories. We can we can supply the complete new test instrument. If you have any some existing, it is available with you. You can specify the make and model number along with the communication code, so that we will check the compatibility of that instrument with our testing the transport test pro software. Same with the test equipment. Here you have to mention whether any the test equipment that is available. For example, DMARS, the MG sets. You have to mention the make and model number. Any softwares, the transport test software, test benches, as you see in the whether this mobile van type load test is movable trolley, you have to mention here. We can give this transport test laboratories as a turnkey package, where we can supply the cables also. We can do the cable supply, laying, termination, cable tray, the installation, everything we will do. If you want some additional features to with the help of this transport test laboratories, that is connected with the ERP or SAP system, that is also possible. Whether you have to visualize the data to the third party location, that is also possible. You presently for how many transformers you are testing per day, and in future how many transformers that you are going to test. Here you have to mention the data here. And last one is the in which month you have to finalize the order, in which month you have to this transport to be installed at your location. So there, this is all about the quotation request form. Now, friends, I request you to kindly unmute yourself and ask your queries. It's our pleasure to answer them.
Yes, friends, you can unmute and ask questions if you have any. Yes, Muhammad Nasir. Yes, you have raised the hand, please. Please go ahead. Mr. Muhammad Nasir. Okay. Friends, anybody is having any questions? We are more than happy to answer your questions. Okay. If you do not have questions, may I have your feedback in the chat box? How you felt about it? Was it useful to you? And has it given any insight into the automatic transformer testing and how it is most satisfying? So if you can put your comments in the chat box, we'll be more than happy. And if you wish anything further to be covered during this particular webinar, we'll try to add the same to meet your requirements. So friends, with this, we thank you for being with us and investing your 45 minutes with us in order to